The Christian side will have 10 minutes to either rebuttal what they heard or to further present their position or both. So when the timers are ready, please flash your mics. All right, and the time will start when you all begin.
Okay, so so I like the way Corey slowed it down to misrepresent our point because we're not talking about power. We're actually talking about the nature of God, that you cannot be something other than. I like the way he deflected to Elohim and went away from Yahweh. So we are here to assert that Yahweh is the most high God, and Yahweh is expressed through Christ, the person of Christ. He did not deal with Alpha or Omega. When does Alpha or Omega start to mean power? Where did we get into power? How did you just gaslight the audience? Don't let him manipulate you guys and gaslight y'all away from what we are stating. This is not an uphill battle because this is not even a battle we're fighting. We're not dealing with Elohim, although he went to Psalms 82 to deal with Elohim, right? We are talking about Yahweh. We're talking about the highest power. And I'm glad that I do know how to not preach and calm down, right? And so, what does Yahweh mean? Yahweh is the supreme and the sovereign God over all. And so, if we were to go, he went to use Moses being as a god, right? You will be as God. So we went to school. And if anybody have anything over an eighth grade education, there's something called simile, and we see figurative language whenever there's like or as. This is building up figurative language, right? This is a comparison. Moses will be as God. That is a simile, saying that he will be like unto God to Aaron. We are not stating that is not the same deity claim as Jesus, who says, I am the Almighty. I am Alpha and Omega. I am Creator, right? We're not talking about power. Again, we're talking about nature. Now, when he goes into theos, right? At the end of the day, Satan being a god is separate than Jesus in the deity claim in Ephesians chapter 1, when he is seated. Let's go there real quick. chapter 1. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 20. Let's go there. And I'm pulling it up right now. And here we go. All right, so we're not talking about power. We're actually talking about nature. But Jesus is still, when we talk about powers, he's in a class all by himself. So we're not talking about him being a power amongst the powers. He is the ultimate power. He is the potentate, the most high, all powerful one, right? And Satan, we know, cannot claim this. So when we see Ephesians 1 and 20, and it says, Paul, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to 20. It's not pulling up for me. 1 second. Let's get it real quick. And y'all can jump in. Let's see here. It says, hold on 1 second. Dang, I'm pulling it up. So he's above all power. I'm trying to read it for you verbatim. And Oliver and Timothy, y'all can jump in as y'all please. Let's see here. 1 and 20. I don't know why it's trying to slow it down, but we good. We got the most high on our side. All right. So it says, which he wrought in Christ when he raised him from the dead and set him up at his right hand in heavenly places, far above all principality and power and might and dominion and every name that is named. So he is above all power. He's above all the Elohim. He is not just a judge. He is not just mere man. He is not Israel, who God divorced, right? And called them whores, right? No, he is the most high, above all power, above Satan, above all thrones. He created the thrones. He created authorities. He created Lucifer. So how are we going to sit here and act like that's what we're trying to say? I like the way he did that, but no, it's not going to work. We're smarter than that, right? The audience is smarter than that. So we are declaring that Yahweh, that Jesus is, that Alpha and Omega, only one person gets to make that
5 minutes.
assertion. Only one person gets to make that assertion. Jesus made the assertion. I am the Alpha and Omega. I am creator. And he put all things under his feet, and he gave him to be head over all things, the church, which is his body, the fullness of him that filleth all and in all. Who fills all? And who is in all? Ask yourself that. That's a rhetorical question. Now, Brandon, you want to jump in, or Timothy, y'all want to jump in?
Yes, what's the time? Oh,
We like at 4 minutes.
okay. I just
5
want to
minutes.
quickly hit, and I'll yield over to you, Oliver. I want everybody to pay special attention because one of the main premises of our argument that we presented is a clear statement that we have of Yahweh in the Old Testament, his claim of divinity of being the Alpha and the Omega. This is no statement that a person would make haphazardly because this is Yahweh's identifying mark. Why is it we have not received an answer in the New Testament? We have listed 2 times where Jesus, without intrepidation or hesitation, has called himself by the exact same title. Dear friends, this is more than simply alluding to being an agent or representative. This is a claim to divinity.
Yeah, thank you, Brandon. And real quick, I want to touch on this phrase Elohim. So I don't have time to go through all of it, but um, Elohim is talking about Yahweh, God, the God of Israel, Psalm 82 and verse number 1. And I can cite that here or read it. It says, God has taken his place in the divine council in the midst of the gods. He holds judgment on them. Because of the participle in verse number 1, the first Elohim must be singular, the second one must be plural. And it's also talking about the various gods of the nations, Ashtaroth. You got the god of the Sidonians, you got Milcah, the god of the Amorites. It's also being referenced to the Shadim, that is the demons, in Deuteronomy 32, verse 17, which says they sacrifice to demons, not God, to deities they have never known, to new ones recently arrived, whom your ancestors have not feared. It's also referencing disembodied spirit and the spirits in 1 Samuel 28 and verse 13, where it says, the king said to her, have no fear. What do you see? The woman said to Saul, I see a divine being coming up out of the ground. It's also talking about the angel of God from Genesis chapter 35. So we see that the word Elohim can be nuanced a plethora or myriad of different ways. But when we go to John chapter 10, verses 22 through 39, we see unequivocally and emphatically that Jesus is claiming this univocal nature or the same nature with God when he cites Psalm 82 in verse number 6. And verse 30 of John chapter 10, he says, I and the Father are one. And verse number 38, he said, the Father is in me and I am in the Father. Those that were listening to Jesus were upset because they heard what he was saying. And what he was saying was that I and the Father are one. It would make no sense, absolutely no sense, for Jesus to cite or reference Psalm 82, and when if it was just talking about judges, and Jesus was saying, "Hey, it's all cool. We're all judges. You know, we're